Hello everyone, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy and I will be with you for the show today, and a very happy Valentine's Day to all of you watching from home. We are starting off here in what looks to be quite a misty Tau Game Lodge in Madikwe Game Reserve of South Africa. We all might be familiar with the movie Gorillas in the Mist, but this is definitely another form of giant with elephants in the mist. I think some rain is falling here at the moment. Plenty of rain around, it seems like. Lots here in the Lowveld where I am. It's currently drizzling. And it looks like it's currently raining here in Madikwe as well. But bring on the rain. We are very grateful for it. Now remember everyone that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your comments and questions to me. I would love to hear from you. Let me know who you are, what you enjoy about the show, maybe what your plans are for Valentine's Day. Let's chat. If you have any, or just celebrating the love of nature, is fantastic. You can send those through to Wild Earth via the website or the app. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream, or you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag Wild Earth. How fantastic are these cameras with a little windscreen wiper? That was very cool, I must say. Although I don't know if that cleared things up at all. At least the droplets are gone. Alright everyone, let's head over to Juma. Well, it looks like a hippo is resting there just behind that thicket. And I wonder if the dam is going to get any fuller with these rains in the area. Oh, there is something there. I was wondering what was walking there, but it seems to be a little impala. Now, a few days ago, maybe even a week by now, there was quite some action happening almost in this exact spot with an impala walking, and some lions that were on the hunt, possibly getting it. I'm not sure if that was ever confirmed, but it did seem like it, that they were successful, and just a lone impala walking towards the camera. And I always warn the impalas when I see them out on drive and they're completely on their own. I'm like, careful, you never know who's hiding behind the bushes. Go find some friends. Hello Penelope, lovely to have you back with us today. Fuzzy Dunlop, you say happy Feline Friday. Indeed, I hope that, fingers crossed, we might have a very special show today with some cats. But nevertheless, even with the rain, it does make it a little bit less likely for them to be moving around, especially if it's raining quite hard. But I think that if it's also nice cool weather, so often they do sometimes become a little bit more active when it is overcast like this. Is it just me, or does it look like this little impala is starting to grow horns already? I think it is, yeah, it's a little young male. Those are the tiniest horns that I've ever seen in my life. And this lamb would have been born, most likely, let's say on average, right in the beginning of December, very end of November. So that would give us 1 to 2.5 months. So around between 10 to 12 weeks old, I would say, these little ones. And you can see that it's around this mark where those horns start to pop out for the young males. Deb Davis, lovely to hear from you. Good to have you back with us for the show today. And it's just lovely to be able to relax and enjoy the sights and sounds of the waterholes today. I'm not sure if it's rainy everywhere. Unlikely with our cameras stretching across such a vast area. But definitely within South Africa at the moment, it seems to be a bit of a cold front passing through. Or just wet weather, really. Yeah, Sergeant Sassy, you want to know why is the baby all alone? It's a great question. I'm wondering that myself, to be honest with you. Not usually the case, although we haven't had a good look around to see perhaps if there are other impalas around. But it does happen every now and again that a little one will be lost, or just, let's say there was a hunt and they, there we go, ran off, and they get scattered, and sometimes the little ones lose their moms. But it isn't normal, let me put it that way, for it to be completely by itself, and it is very vulnerable like this. But it does happen occasionally where a lamb, at the moment it does look like it's possibly on its own. Well, let's hope that this little impala finds its family, everyone. While we wait to see, well, let's head over to Kampersdam. And here we have some beautiful springbuck that look to be resting. in the veld here. Now, Comfortsdam is a location that's in the Northern Cape of South Africa, so a little bit more south from where Tau is. And it's sort of on the border, well, it's around a town called Kimberley, which isn't actually too far from right in the central part of South Africa. And there's this huge dam that's sort of on the outskirts of the town. And it attracts a lot of bird life, a lot of flamingos that we've seen here. When I started doing the Live at the Waterhole show, I learnt a lot about flamingos because we had so many sightings of them here at Comfortsdam. And also there's a variety of different antelope species that we see here in the veld, including these lovely springbuck, which are all resting at the moment. Ruminating. We've also seen blesbuck here a few times. Wildebeest as well. In fact, even golden wildebeest, which are a sort of variation of genetics that we see coming through in the wildebeest, with them lacking melanin, and they turn this sort of golden color. Now these antelopes are different from the one that we were just looking at Djuma, with this being a springbuck, these being springbuck should I say, and the one that we were looking at being impala. And impala are very much limited to the eastern part or northeastern part of South Africa. You don't find them within the northern Eastern Capes, Western Cape, sort of the whole western central part of South Africa. And often the question is asked, why? And I think it has to do with sort of the distribution in terms of being able to move mountains in between where they naturally occurred and where the springbuck naturally occurred, just not being able to be in the same place due to their natural distribution. And then also therefore climate has influenced what they've adapted to. So springbuck can survive in much harsher climates. If we think of areas where we see them, desert-like areas, very dry, very hot, but then also can be very cold areas as well. So they just have this really interesting way of surviving in climates where impalas just wouldn't be able to. They prefer a milder climate. They can deal with the heat, but I don't think they're as well adapted to be in really, really cold temperatures as well, and that sort of difference between the two. So often impalas are mistaken for springbuck, or the other way around, I suppose, but they are completely different antelope species, and their size is similar, but they do actually look completely different from one another. There are some areas where impalas and springbuck do overlap naturally. I think of one of the other locations like Okukuyo in Namibia, where we get impalas and springbuck together. But there's certain conditions that have to be just right, or a certain area where impalas do live naturally, and they've adapted to the harsher climates in that case. But generally, I've heard many stories where impalas they've tried to introduce them to other game reserves in different parts of South Africa, and they just didn't survive. And there's various reasons, climate being one of them, that they don't do well in other areas of Africa. So yeah, it's just interesting to compare the one to the other. Picasso, hello, lovely to hear from you. You're wondering if there are still unborn impalas. This season seems so strange. I can't say for certain, Picasso, that there is no impala that is yet to give birth to a very, very late lamb, or lot lamaki, as we would say in South Africa. I have seen one lot lamaki out in the bush the other day when I was driving home, and I was like, ooh, that's a very young lamb that was born probably a month later than all the others. But most likely by now, February, all the lambs have been born. For the females that were pregnant, who made pregnant or were pregnant last year, it would be highly unlikely to have a female still to give birth now. I don't know what the latest lamb recorded ever born outside of, in the breeding season is. I'll see if I can find that out for us, but usually by now, definitely all the females would have had their little ones. But nature is always there to surprise you, because the only reason that the lambs all born together is because they all fall pregnant at the same time in about April, May of the same year. So if a female is mated with later, she'll have her baby later. It's as simple as that. So like I say, if there's a female who falls pregnant at the end of May or even in June, we would have seen that little one born about a month later than all the others, which, as I say, you can see there's some that are much smaller than the others that were born first in compared to being born last, just because they are still younger. So it's interesting, Picasso, to sort of delve into that topic of the impala females and giving birth to their young. And I've also noticed some very strange behavior on Juma when I was there a few weeks ago, with these males acting like it's rutting time. They're snorting, they're chasing around females. I didn't actually see any mating occurring, but there's definitely some sort of testosterone buildup going on there, which is unusual behavior, because we usually see that during rutting season, which, like I say, is still 2 months away, 3 months away when I was there in January. So you're right, the season has been strange, but we can't always peg these animals down to what we necessarily read in a textbook, which is what makes it so interesting. Wow. Look at all these blacksmith lapwings. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of them. I don't think I've ever seen so many in my life. I think those are all glossy ibises as well, as I like to call them, the hardy-dar ibises, sort of how do you put this without offending the hardy-dar? sort of the sports car version of a Hardy-Dar. Sleeker, slimmer, and just, a little bit more appealing on the eye. Well, it's been wonderful to pop in here at Compass. Let's head over to Jabulani. Oh, this is very cool. Here we have a water monitor lizard, everybody. And they do love to perch in trees like this. This is probably either a completely dead tree or a fallen over dead tree log. Oh, and you can see the rain as well. And even though it is raining, it's still humid. I still feel a little bit sticky. I'm wearing, I'm not wearing a jersey or anything. I'm in a t-shirt. So it's really still quite warm. And I think the reptiles are enjoying lying out in the open, getting some heat from the environment. I must say that is excellently spotted by whoever is Zoomy here at Jabulani Safari Lodge. Goodness me, there must have been some serious scanning involved to find that water monitor lizard up there. And it just shows that they can climb. Their cousin, the rock monitor lizard, is one that we very much associated being up in trees. They love to use empty cavities within trees to nest in, as well as just live in general. But they, you don't often think of a water monitor being able to climb as high as this, but they definitely can. They also have a slightly more yellow coloration. I think they're a lot prettier than the rock monitors. Rock monitors are quite, they're just grey really. Whereas the water monitors have these beautiful patterning on their bodies. And the yellow coloration as well coming through there. All right, let's head up to Oldonyo. Oh, wow. Hello, Mr. One Ton the elephant. This is beautiful. what a treat. I've seen him 2 days in a row now. Aren't those tusks just so impressive? I would say it's we can only guess the weight of them at this point. Some of the heaviest tusks that have ever been recorded have been around the 100 kg mark, which is significant. Oh wow, that is a beautiful close-up. The left one, his left one definitely being the longer of the two, but I would say maybe they are now around maybe 70 kgs, the longer one maybe 80, somewhere around there. It is Penelope and Joanne. It's wonderful to see one ton. I hope he sticks around for a little bit longer. So 50, he is magnificent, isn't he? And you can just see, but the back legs there. Now I'm just wondering if he didn't splash himself there, but that could mean that he's in must if it is dripping from his penile sheath down the back legs. When an elephant bull is heavily in must, that their penile sheath will drip urine constantly to a point where there's just a flow all the time, and it often wets their back legs. Plus there's a really strong must scent, and that word is actually derived from in Asia what they would refer to someone or something being intoxicated, that word must. And it's because their behavior changes as a must bull when that sort of the testosterone levels increase dramatically. Their testes, which are actually internal on elephants, swell to a very uncomfortable size. So there's all these factors that go into it, and that makes them just uncomfortable and a lot more aggressive. But having said that, not every elephant bull in must that I've come across out in the wild has been aggressive, and sometimes they are very relaxed, especially the more mature individuals that have experienced many cycles of must in their lives. All right, let's head back over to Jabulani. Oh, this is nice. Here are 2 hippos that are out the water. Good day to be out the water, I must say. It's overcast, there's no direct sun, it's warm, it's not cold, and a little bit of drizzle keeping them moist as well. So it's pretty much perfect for a hippo, I would say. And it's definitely not uncommon to see hippos out the water like this. There's certain areas. I remember when I was guiding on Ngala, we never saw hippos out the water. I remember I had guests who really wanted to see a hippo out the water, and I was like, all right, well, then we just have to sit at a waterhole and wait, because they do come out at night. But the hippos at Ngala were they were camera shy or people shy or daytime shy. I don't know which one. And we waited and we waited, and eventually, I think it was an hour after drives would normally have gotten back to camp, maybe at like 8 p.m. eventually, these hippos decided to come out, and we managed to be able to sort of see their silhouettes as they and hear the noise of them coming out. It was, great to eventually get them to come out the water, or wait for them to come out naturally. But, in other areas like here at Jabulani, or, so many places in the Kruger, you'll have hippos lying out the water in the middle of summer. They're not worried whatsoever. And it's interesting how that behavior is different from area to area, depending on sort of what the hippos have grown up knowing, perhaps, and what they're used to in terms of vehicles as well, because it is a presence near the water, no matter which way you look at it. And it's something that they have to get used to. So in wilder, less trafficked places, I can imagine that the presence of this vehicle or even the noise of people can, prevent them from being comfortable enough to come out the water, because the water is like their safe space. So it's interesting to see, and it was always fascinated, when you guide in an area and the hippos are just never out the water. And then there's other places where they're always out the water, which is really cool to see and show guests on safari as well. Well, yesterday we were treated with a feeding frenzy at the vultures. Let's go see if we can see it again. Well, here we go, everyone. We were chatting about how important vultures are to our ecosystem yesterday. And maybe for those of you who are new viewers and are wondering what the hang is going on here, here at Victoria Falls Safari Lodge, they have a conservation initiative where they actually provide safe food sources for these vultures to eat, and they sort of get rid of their kitchen waste, bones and meat cut-offs and things like that they then give out to these vultures. And marabou storks, that you can see, the very large bird with the grey feathers in between, and that's just to help protect these species from not to be accidentally poisoned or even purposefully poisoned. just fascinating to me to actually just take a moment to watch, sort of pick one bird and just see what they do. It's really fascinating to me. And it looks like, once again, hooded vultures, whiteback vultures, and marabou storks. Occasionally we've seen white-headed vultures here as well. I love them so much. I think they are the most beautiful vulture that I've seen personally. And just as quickly as it comes, it goes down the hatch of many of these birds. And it's fascinating to know, vultures, of course, associated with carcasses and death and a lot of disease and things like that due to the bacteria that they're eating. But their bodies can handle it. They've amazingly adapted to be able to be the cleanup crew of not only the bush but the world over. But what I find very interesting is how clean they actually are. And I've been able to witness a few times vultures feeding at a carcass and then moving off to a waterhole, or seeing vultures arrive at a waterhole or be at a waterhole soon after feeding, and how they clean themselves. And it's just interesting because I've personally never seen a very dirty vulture. Of course, when they're at a carcass and they've opened one up and there's a lot of blood and things like that, they're going to be dirty. But for a very small period of time, before they then move off to, oh my word, that marabou stork was going for that bird. Goodness me. Just on the top left there. I don't know if that's a vulture. I think it is. Or is it a different bird of prey? Anyway, and then they make sure that they clean themselves. And I think that has a lot to do with their own personal hygiene and maintaining their feathers and their efficiency for flight and that sort of thing. There's a vulture on the right that seems to have a rather big piece of something there still. Two others coming to join it. I love when vultures run on the ground like that. There's one chasing the other one. Look how it spreads out its wings, and that's just to really intimidate the others. It makes itself look really, really big. And I mean, they have a huge wingspan. Look at this one arriving here with its wings out. Now on the right hand side. It's fascinating. And I mean, a white-backed vulture's wingspan is 2.2 meters. That is huge. I mean, I think of a standard doorway, I think is around 2 meters tall. So that is very, very impressive. And you can, understand they need that wingspan, of course, to carry their body weight, but also the way they soar so high in the sky. The length of the wing is also a really important part of that aerodynamically. Well, this has been wonderful. Let's head over to Stony Point. Oh, there we have a little African penguin. Oh, I do love them. And there's been so much conservation work being done for these little birds. Well, they're actually not that small, but relatively for penguins, they're a little bit smaller, on the smaller side. And it's fantastic that, really people are trying to do what we can to protect them, to look after their nesting sites, to help prevent overfishing so that they have enough food, and just to save the African penguin from potentially going extinct. So it's a privilege for us to be able to look at them and have such a beautiful view of them here in this part of the world. Well, we just have to restart that feed there in Stony Point. But in the meantime, we've come over to Juma, where there is a water buck that I saw there on the right. And this hippo is still chilling where we saw it at the beginning of the show. There she is, a female waterbuck busy ruminating there. Also, I can only see one, but usually there is a herd around. Maybe the others have all sort of found shelter because of the weather. Oh, there's an African chicana. That's beautiful. Such a stunning bird. Oh, this chicana's having a little water bath. Very cool to see. Waterbucks are really beautiful antelopes. They have this amazing sort of coloration on them, and I think the females in particular have a lot of contrasting between light and darker fur. We'll head up to East Africa and see what's happening at Lentor. Looks like our little terrapin friend is out and about again today. I've been loving this waterhole so much. This week we've been spoilt with quite a few smaller things running around, and we have a great camera here that can really get up nice and close. can hear that sort of sound, I am assuming that it is from a bird. I'm just trying to listen a little bit more. Could be that hammerkop, sort of, it sounds in a similar tone to that, maybe just the beginning of its call. Something walked past there as well in the background. I'm not sure if that was a wildebeest. Ah, it was a baboon. I just saw sort of this dark color and a bit of a tail at some point. But we have been seeing a troop around here. Ah, there's the hammerkop. Oh, there's two hammerkops. Yes, Penelope, it is a very sad sound. I'm not sure. Birds do partial calls very often, not necessarily completing them. But I see the rest of the troop is now arriving. Maybe we'll see a cute little baby come to drink. Oh, it is drinking from mom there, actually, on the left. I think, yes, it's currently got a teat there that it's suckling from. I think that one just tried to grab its baby. And it was like, no. Sorry. And now it's time for grooming. Oh, baboons are funny creatures. I love the sort of like back head fur shake that these baboons do. I've seen it every day now, and it's amazing how fluffy they are on their backs. Those are just baboons that are not happy with each other. Oh, this is just the sweetest thing. that little one literally fell asleep while it was suckling. It's out. Milk coma. Oh, there's another little one that was suckling there. Oh my gosh, this troop is full of babies. Well, we are really being spoiled today with some serious cuteness. I don't think I've spent so much time being able to watch a baby baboon suckling from mom with such a great view and subsequently see it completely fall asleep. And I love how these baboons come through here. Look how relaxed they all are. It's like it's their grooming spot where they come for a drink, you know, socialize a little bit, hang out. Ah, there's the full call. it seems these hammerkops are now calling a little bit more and not sounding so sad anymore, Penelope. I'm enjoying watching these baboons move around as well and just doing their thing really. Every now and again, one more coming for a drink. This one's having a scratch. This one's having a snooze. Darkmane Lover, a very happy Valentine's Day to you as well. You also wish everyone in the FC and all the chatters that too. And yes, it's a day to celebrate what a beautiful thing love is in the world, but also just for me personally, my love of nature and love in nature in its own way. And it's just, you know, it's a great day. Whether you are single or not, it is a day to just, you know, enjoy and wear something red, pink or white if you're into that sort of thing. I can't say that I am. Don't have too much red or pink in the bush wardrobe, I must be honest. But I used to love Valentine's Day in school. I think it was always a lot of fun. I don't know around the rest of the world how Valentine's Day was always celebrated, but in South Africa, many of our schools, including the one I grew up in, we would dress up. It was a civvies day or casual day where we could wear you know, in the theme of Valentine's Day. And I remember, I think it was in grade 9, so my second year of high school, they were always in charge of being the cupids for the day and delivering little Valentine's cards to all the different classes and even in between schools and that sort of thing, which I would always make sure to send to my friends and that sort of thing. So it was always a lot of fun, special memories from back in the day. Oh my word, look at that baboon. Was it lying on its back? Resting there in the tree. Oh, exciting. Let's head back up to Oldonyo. Well, our friend Wantan has come back here and he's brought a friend with him today. And I'm so glad that he is still around and decided to come back and grace us with his presence. Florence, yes, the baby baboons are very cute. You want to know the lifespan of baboons? You're guessing maybe 10 or 15 years. So it's a little bit longer than that, Florence. Anyway, I suppose from 15 to 20 years in the wild. In captivity, I believe they can live for up to 40 years, around about even 45 years. Oh, I do apologize, everyone. The camera froze there, so we've just popped down to Juma, where there is a very cute little squirrel that is sitting here. It does look a little bit miserable, I won't lie to you. This wet weather, not ideal conditions for squirrels. This little one is adorable. Oh my goodness. Let's head over to Lentor. Oh, lovely. I don't think I've ever had zebras arrive during the waterholes show for me, so this is very cool to see some bigger animals here today. Wildlife lady, I completely agree. It is such a wonderful surprise. Definitely wasn't expected. I have seen footage of zebras here before, so I do know that they do come through every now and again. But these zebras are really, really pretty, and what a beautiful angle to have right from sort of below to see them at eye level, as it were, or at foot level, should I say. And there's something about zebras, oh man, they are just so striking, especially a group of them together. I don't think they're going to hang around too long, but we'll enjoy them for as long as they're here. There we go, a last one just moving off there into the distance. Spas, you'd like to know what other big herbivores we could observe coming to the Lentor waterhole, Amy. Interesting, Spas. I'm interested to know if there's anyone watching, or perhaps even Mika, who's in FC, if there's been any particular sightings of other big herbivores, for example, elephant. I think they do occur in the conservancy where Lentor is. But there's obviously zebra. I think there would be giraffe, monkeys and baboons that we could see here. I think there are cats around as well, potentially. But for the most part, other big herbivores, I would say giraffe and elephant would be the most likely to also be able to be viewed here at this particular spot. All right, let's head over to Tau. Well, it's always a treat to come and check in what's happening here. And you can see the wildebeest resting there in the background, but a beautiful waterbuck bull that is standing here surveying his territory. Perhaps coming for a drink. interesting that this waterbuck is here on its own. Not unusual at all, but also something that we do see, especially if this is the territorial bull for this area, that he sort of is just looking around, checking out the scene. I haven't seen any females recently that I can recall, but sometimes, they do come out on their own, or perhaps we may have another bull arrive, or a few different ones that haven't quite established a territory but just want to come for water. Well, how lovely to have an elephant that's popped out to come have a drink as well. A little bit further back, and looks like a young bull on his own at this point. Also not completely uncommon. It looks like the boys have come out on their own this afternoon with the waterbuck, wildebeest, and this elephant here at Tau. eye. So here we have, I think, that older bull and a younger male waterbuck. You can see how young he is. I mean, those horns are very small still. But they're doing some, I suppose, what one would refer to as sparring. But it's quite affectionate, isn't it? It's not really serious whatsoever. So I'm not sure if it's like I say, from a place of sort of affection with the older and younger one, or if it is this older bull just showing, hey, this is a bit of dominance display, which of course, I mean, the younger one can't even compete. Probably his offspring. We don't know for sure, of course, but if he is the territorial bull, he would have mated with the females in this area. Oh, there's a kudu feeding in the background. I see those horns there, sort of on the right hand side. Oh, is it an impala? I think that might actually be an impala. Very big horns. But this is actually quite sweet to see a potential father-son interaction here. Definitely impalas. I can see there's one further to the right there. Just the horns looked like they were starting to spiral between the thickets. But how lovely, what a sighting to see these two waterbuck here, and the interaction between an older male and a much younger one. Well, it's clear that there are more waterbucks here than we initially thought. But I thought that may be the case. We do often see groups of males around in the area. Looks like 3 older ones and then that very young one. But I mean, he is very young. I would expect there to be signs of mom somewhere around, even if there's a group of females perhaps around on the thickets. Yeah, Dark Mane Lover, the waterbucks are practicing so that when the time comes they can be ready for the real sparring. And I don't know if anyone watching has actually seen 2 male waterbucks have a serious territorial fight, but I have in the Kruger. It was actually we watched it happening from the Letaba Bridge, and it was scary. It was the most intense antelope, probably animal fight that I've seen with my own eyes, other than footage. Rhino and elephant can be very intense and deathly as well. But these 2 waterbucks, and I actually read up afterwards that they are some of the most vicious and violently defending of their territories of any antelope. So, oh, there's a female. That makes sense. So the water bucks have come out in force today here at Tau. But very docile or very accepting of each other's sort of presence, as long as they're submissive. But if one does not submit, it can get very serious very quickly between two bulls. Spas, you say the waterbuck here and baboons at Lentor have made your day. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying the show, Spas. There you can see a red-knobbed coot in the water there, just in front of these waterbuck, who have now come forward a little bit more. Sarah, yes, waterbuck do have such pretty faces, don't they? They're very friendly, I suppose. They're quite sweet in the way their face appears. I don't know if it's because their noses aren't quite as pointy. Right, we've come back over to Juma now. Unfortunately, the feed froze there at Tau. Joanne, Mello, lovely to hear from you. Happy Friday and Valentine's Day to you as well. It's been a lovely show today. We've got about 10 minutes left, and it's been very relaxing. And I've enjoyed just spending some time with all of the animals that we've gotten to see. All right, seems like all is sorted. Let's head back over to Tau. Wow, it's amazing how quickly things change. Those waterbucks are definitely on the move. It's very interesting for me that already from, so young, I would say these waterbucks are maybe between 6 months and a year, maybe more than that. The young ones, the little ones with the little horns, let's say a year old, and they are already associating with other males. You would expect, you think that ones with such small horns would still be very much close to their moms and the females that form, little waterbuck groups. So you're always learning out here. Sarah, you want to know this big leafed plant that's here? I've also just been looking at it. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There are a few different things that come to mind, but there's no sort of flower or any distinguishing thing at the moment. It definitely only pops up now in the summer once the rains have come through, but this waterbuck is not eating on that particular leaf at the moment. It's actually going for more of these little shoots that are coming up from the ground, some sort of a water based plant, very seasonal, I would say. Deb, you're asking if I have any Valentine's Day plans. Well, I will be at home with my hubby. I'm going to head into town and just go do a little bit of shopping that's needed. And then we'll just have a quiet dinner by the house. Living a little bit far out, there's not too much that we can do in terms of leaving campus and that sort of thing, because my husband is on duty. So we'll celebrate by just being together, which is the most important part. Wildlife Lady, you say you enjoyed today's live at the Waterhole. Well, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad that we could share part of this day of love with you all and just celebrate our love for nature all together. Dark Main Lover, thank you so much. I hope you also enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm glad that you enjoyed me hosting the show today. Penelope, it's a pleasure as well. And you will not be with us tomorrow. You have a birthday party / lunch. Well, I hope that you enjoy that, and a very happy birthday to you for tomorrow. I will be back with you all tomorrow for my last show this week, so I'm looking forward to that. And who knows what tomorrow will hold. Every day we should always expect the unexpected out here in the bush. But we've had such variety today, everything from wonton, the elephant bull, to zebras, waterbuck, baboons, water monitor lizard, hammerkorps. It's been a fantastic show. Thank you so much, everyone, for enjoying the show with me today. Thank you for all of your comments and questions that you've sent through. It's always appreciated. And I do hope that you'll be back with me tomorrow. We will be live once again, same time, same place here on Wild Earth at the Waterhole show. But for all of you at home, wherever you are in the world, I do hope that you have a pleasant day or evening ahead. And yes, enjoy the sunset safari later on this afternoon. But from myself for now, it's a goodbye.